This video is a part of music appreciation assignment. Today I'm going to talk about Liszt Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2, played by Valentina Lisista and Fabrizio André Bernard di Paolo. Franz Liszt, the composer of Hungarian Rhapsody, he's a famous pianist during the Romantic era. He gained his renown in Europe during the early 19th century for his prodigious virtuosic skill as a pianist. As a composer, Liszt was one of the most prominent representatives of the New German school, Norddeutsch School. He left behind an extensive and diverse body of work in which he influenced his forward-looking contemporaries and anticipate many 20th century's ideas and trends. Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 in C-sharp minor. This piece consists of two distinct sections. The first is Lesson, the second section is Fresca. Lesson is quite a dramatic introduction, although the beginning is C-sharp major. C-sharp major is also established as the home key. From this point, the composer quite modulate freely by the tonic major. The mood of the lesson is generally quite dark and contains some playful stuff also. Fresca is the second part. It opens quietly in key of F sharp minor, but on its dominant chord, the C sharp major, recalling the theme from the first part, which is lesson. The alternate dominance and tonic harmony quickly increase in volume also. The tempo gaining momentum can also depends on the player as well, since the rubato also take effects in this part. When he composed this piece, Liszt planned his choice of key remarkably symmetric also. Even though the lesson, the first part, is in C sharp minor and in tonic major chord of C sharp major. However, by Bartók, the minor tonality is quite established there, giving an idea of this is not only minor but also not only major but also minor. Speaking of our players, Valentina Lisista. She was born in Kyiv, Ukraine in 1973. She started playing piano at the age of 3, performing her first solo recital at the age of 4, which is really fast. She's of Russian-Polish descent. Despite her early disposition to music, her dream at that point was to become a professional chess player, which is really surprising. Lisista attended the Lysenko Music School and later Kyiv Conservatory, where she and her future husband, Alexei Kostesnov, studied under Dr. Ludmila Zhirveko. The second player, Vinhetero, or Fabrizio André Bernard di Paolo, known online as Lord Vinhetero, is a Brazilian YouTuber star who is famous for his channel. He has earned more than 100 million views for his general piano and sound edited cover. One of his YouTube channel most popular videos are Hungarian Rhapsody, Star Wars, and many classic pieces. He also run his own school, Lord Music Academy School, teaching classic piano. Talking about techniques, Valentina rubato can be represented around 2 minutes 25 to 3:22. Okay, so as you can see, her rubato is quite obvious, and she do this a lot throughout the whole piece, and professionally. But in my opinion, I think it's quite weird for someone who doesn't listen to classic music all the time. Continue the second topic, improvisation of Valentina. As you can hear, she improvised the middle part of the video till the end by using trim instead of playing 1 and the 3rd note. She used trim instead, which really create a circumstance of continuous, and it is really impressive and professionally done. Next is the loudness. Valentina shows us the great control of loudness around 6:30 to 7:15 of the video. Despite showing us how great she played and how great she could control her loudness and switch between the dynamics, he still showed power in her plays, which like really impressed most of the listener and also me. The loudness between like 6:45 to 7 it's really jumpy, which like around from piano to forte or piano to mezzo forte, and keep jumping around, and she do it really perfect. That is most likely almost not noticeable if the notes are if the dynamics are wrong or not. To our second player, Vinhetero. As you can hear, Vinhetero rubato is not as obvious as Valentina, but his rubato is slowly climbing up and down instead of really fast one from Valentina, which give like relaxing and like slowly accelerating kind of feeling. Jumping to improvisation of Vinhetero. This improvisation is not mainly on notes, but on pedal use. And the notes, the first note that let's show us of Hungarian Rhapsody, and this part require a full pedal of around 8 to 10 room of notes. But when hetero choose to like stop one bar earlier than he should in every single bars. But still, in the end, he used the octave note instead of single note or the third note in a combination. That's really give the strength of how he play, and it's give us a really strong feeling to the loudness. On this plot, Win Hetero show us a great control of loudness. He chooses to increase the dynamic by every note slowly and consistently. That is really impressive, which is which is quite professional and easy to listen to, since it doesn't disturb you that much when you jump between the dynamics. To the conclusion and the preference, I am not into classical music, not much, but I do listen to a lot of music at any kind. I prefer when hetero plays, since it's really easy to listen to him, because his techniques are not so hard. The dynamics are like slowly up and down instead of making the listener like have to go by the tempo is quite tiring. Even though Valentina show her superior in technique and performance, it is really hard to listen to if you are not like classical music, since this consists of like multiple trim improvisation instead of like 1/3 note. She used trim to improvise, and like she showed us I think too much dynamic changing in this piece. And that's the end of the slide. Thank you.